Welcome new and old friends. My name is 242, and today I have two stories from the subreddit Am I the Butthole? Our first is about a daughter whose mother keeps following her into the kitchen and the problems that come because of that. The second is about a sister telling her brother off. So, grab yourself a tea or coffee before you listen to these stories. Things are about to get interesting. Am I the butthole for getting frustrated with my mom for being in the kitchen at the same time as me? I, an 18 female, have a super repetitive and predictable routine. Every morning at 9:55, I go into the kitchen to pack my lunch for work. Every morning at 9:55, my mom decides she absolutely needs to be in the kitchen as well, emptying the garbage, rearranging stuff in the cupboards, wiping down the counters, whatever. But it's like she waits for me to go to make my lunch and then comes in. The kitchen isn't very big, so she's always bumping into me while I'm cutting stuff up or standing in front of the cupboards I need to get into. I've asked her politely a couple of times if she could wait until I'm done. I take 10 minutes max, but she snapped at me for ordering her around in her own house. Yesterday, I was cutting up vegetables and she came in to wash dishes and ended up bumping into me while I was using the knife. I got a small surface level cut on my finger. It honestly wasn't bad, but I was so frustrated with her that I snapped and said, "Maybe if you didn't insist on being my personal backpack every morning, this wouldn't have happened." My parents are saying that I'm the butthole for snapping at her for this, but my sister is siding with me. I feel bad for being rude, but I also think I was partly justified on my end. Am I the butthole? We're going to give you my thoughts and also a quick summary of a lot of the comments. There is an update for this. So most of the comments are saying, have you tried different times? You're not really the butthole for getting frustrated over this. You have tried stuff. OP has tried changing her time, seeing the mom shows up at then, walking out when the mom shows up, and then she will just come in when OP goes back in. So there's something going on. OP says that they have ADHD, so they need to have a very strict routine so they don't forget anything. So I get where OP is coming from. This is very frustrating to have someone bump into you when you're using sharp objects, and the worry that you'll get hurt or you'll accidentally hurt someone that you very much care about. I totally get. So my thoughts are having a talk with the mom, but now I'm just going to go to the update. Update. Am I the butthole for getting frustrated with my mom for being in the kitchen at the same time as me? I got a much bigger response on my original post than I ever thought I would. A couple hours after I posted it, I realized I left a lot of information out and I wanted to clarify some things, as well as provide an update on the situation. Some people asked if I pay rent or own the house. It's my parents' house and I don't pay rent. I can't afford to move out right now, and my parents don't want to let me move out until after my first year of uni. Some people also asked if I'm autistic. I have ADHD, which shares a lot of traits with autism. I stick to a strict routine because it's the only way I'm able to remember to do everything I need to do in the morning. A lot of people suggested packing my lunch at a different time, or even the night before. I had tried this before. No matter what time I went into the kitchen, my mom followed. I tried it again a couple of times since making the post, and she continues to follow me. I took the advice of some people who told me to try going to the kitchen as usual, but leaving when my mom got in the way and tell her I'd wait until she was finished. I even made sure the kitchen was spotless the night before, dishwasher empty, no dishes in the sink, counters wiped down, the trash was emptied. She followed me in, and when I said I'd wait, she said she was done. Almost as soon as I went back in, she followed me in again and claimed she had forgotten to do something. A lot of people pointed out that she might just want to spend time with me, which I hadn't thought of before. I think that maybe getting a job, finishing high school, and starting to work towards getting my driver's license made her realize I'm growing up, and won't be dependent on her living at the house for much longer. Maybe she just wants to spend as much time with me as she can before I go, or maybe she doesn't feel as mom as she did before. What finally worked was, after dinner a couple of nights ago, asking her to pack some leftovers from dinner in a separate container for me to take for lunch the next day. She seemed really happy that I asked and didn't follow me into the kitchen the next morning. She even left a sticky note with a smiley face on top of the container. I also asked if she could drive me to work, which gave us the chance to chat and catch up in the car. I think she just missed feeling like I needed her, which I always will. Even though we butt heads sometimes, she'll always be my mom, and I think I just need to find a way to remind her of that. I wrote my original post feeling super frustrated at my mom, but I teared up a bit finishing this update. Sending a massive thank you to all the kind people who commented and helped me work this out. So these are my thoughts last. I'm very happy that OP got to work this out with her mom. I'm just a little upset with her mom on not expressing how she felt either. I mean, you have a child who is getting frustrated with you, and you can see that, so why can't you explain that I would just like to spend some more time? But of course, maybe the mom didn't realize that's how she was feeling. It just sucks that they had to have a rigmarole to figure out exactly what was going wrong, and I hope everything goes more smoothly for OP in the long run. Am I the butthole for telling my brother he got exactly what he deserved when he pushed his girlfriend away for being a gold digger? My brother is a very hardworking man, and at 27 he is now very wealthy and doing well for himself. He's been with this girl for 6 months, and throughout that time we have gotten close because we both like hair, makeup, and shopping. I never knew there was anything wrong with the relationship except when she texted me last week saying she would love to hang out but thinks it's inappropriate because her and my brother broke up. I asked her why, and she said she was sick and tired of the auditing to prove she was with him for the right reasons. She went on to say that my brother is paranoid she's after his money, so he would test her, like leaving out his bank statement on their bed and getting upset when she picked it up. 2. Going out to a high-end restaurant he requested and leaving his wallet at home on purpose to make her pay for the bill and prove she's not going out with him for his money. 3. Never buying her a gift and questioning her when she asks why he doesn't. I was shocked, so I had to hear my brother's perspective. We spoke and he told me everything she said was true, and there's nothing wrong with making sure his girlfriend is with him for the right reasons. He said he left his bank statement on the bed and was peeking through the door to see if she would be curious, and when he saw her pick up the papers, he knew in his gut she was using him for his money. So he set up the restaurant idea to see if she would get upset at paying a $500 bill, which she was. I asked him if he thinks her being an elementary school teacher could have contributed to her being upset about a $500 bill at a restaurant he wanted to go to, and he said no. He said the straw that broke was when she asked him why he hadn't bought her a single gift since they started dating. When she bought him a new gaming console, new rims for his car, and he knew she was just discreetly asking him to buy her an expensive gift. He confronted her and said he thinks she's with him for his money. So she said, "Let me do us both a favor," and dumped and blocked him. He's upset about the gold digging witch, and when I laughed, he called me a butthole. He said I would never understand what it's like being a rich man and being used, and I get that concern. But I told him, if he thinks any woman will be okay with his test and audits, he's delusional as hell. If he doesn't want to be used for his money, he should start dating people as wealthy as him, or leave the lower income people alone if he's not going to be genuine in his relationships unless they pass his tests. So, I'm going to read you the comments down below. Virtus Man says, "Not the butthole. Sounds like you told your brother the truth. He sounds immature and testing partners never turns out well." OP replied, "He said it's impossible to find a woman as wealthy as him, so he's forced to date middle and lower class women, so he's going to continue his tests. I told him he should go to therapy, and he said, I'm crazy." Orange Julius Page says, "Your brother knows there are such things as prenups, yeah? Also, while I'm by no means wealthy, I do alright by myself, as I'm sure is the case for many on here. I will say, if I were invited to be treated at an expensive restaurant, and he stuck me with a $500 bill as a test, I would be massively ass blasted and would end the relationship." Trending Life 1038 says, "There's no way I would have paid the bill on a teacher's salary. I would have left his butt right there. He goes after lower to middle class women because he feels like he has an advantage over them. He likes the power." None Not Today says, "This? Seriously? He enjoys feeling superior and making them jump through hoops. Not the butthole, OP. Also, dump your brother and stay friends with the ex." My thoughts next. I agree with these comments. He likes the power he has over these women. He wants to control them, and even if his girlfriend had passed those 3 tests, he would have done more and more, because he just likes to be able to be controlling them. He sounds like a major butthole and probably needs some therapy. If I was his sibling, I'd be done with him. I wouldn't want anything to do with him. And he's just going to start testing you next. I hope you enjoyed those stories. Tell me what you think down below. Were either the OP in the right? Were they both the butthole? I'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, then hit that like button and make sure it feels it. Please subscribe so you don't miss another day or night video. And come back this spooky, scary Sunday. 42 is always finding great things for me to read. I hope you have a good day.